Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know, this does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up there, guys. The guys have gone back up top. My wife has been scared because she's like, you got a bunch of people coming over, and it scares her with them sitting on the desk. She's like, what if somebody has a few too many to drink and they happen to fall on the football gods and they get broken? I said, okay, I hear what you're saying, baby. I hear what you're saying. So they're back up there looking down upon us where they're nice and safe. So yesterday was a great day. Yesterday was a great day for a couple of reasons. It was great because the Dallas Cowboys, it may be time to party like it's 1995. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we hit and have done things collectively as a team that we have not done since the 90s. We actually played good defense, ball taking away defense. Guys, we have 10 takeaways in 4 games. That's 2.5 takeaways a game. That's unbelievable. We are second in the NFL behind Buffalo, who's got 11. And we have maybe the defensive player of the year on this roster in Diggs, who's gotten 5 interceptions in 4 games. Guy has 8 in his career already, and it's only his second season. Teams are going to stop challenging him. You're going to stop seeing. He's become the best cornerback in football. Teams are going to go away from him. But not only is he a great interceptor, the guy is physical. As Dan Quinn would say, this defense is going to be fast and physical. And you have to look at Dan Quinn as a mastermind who took a defense that was ass. Let's be clear, historically bad, and turned them around. But not only that, you sit here and you look at Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, who's already got 17 tackles, 2.5 sacks, has become a disruptor. I believe he's got like 20 pressures. That may be exaggerating, but it's not far from there. I think it is 20. And he was a linebacker that had a part-time gig as a defensive end. But you look at him, and as my buddy Rio, shout out to Rio, who was here yesterday, the Washington football rambling Rio, who's rambling about his team. They got a victory over Atlanta, but he ain't happy. He's like, we got all kinds of issues. As he put it, he is doing things that I thought that my defensive player of the year, Chase Young, should be doing. He puts him to shame. He is an absolute positive dog. He played 67 of the 68 snaps. And the way here's what's crazy. His break from being a defensive end is playing linebacker. They rotated him from defensive end to linebacker and then back to defensive end. It's crazy. 67 of the 68 plays. And he didn't look like he really broke a sweat. He is far and away better than any move we could have made. I know a lot of people are like, oh, man, Kyle Pitts. We got to get Kyle Pitts for our offense. You know, because our offense isn't good enough. Because our offense, we need another offensive weapon. Yeah, we need another offensive weapon. You know, and then people, of course, oh, J.C. Horn, you know, Asante Samuels Jr. We got to get a cornerback. We got to get a cornerback. Oh, we should have re-signed Byron Jones. Byron who? We got Diggs. So if you're keeping track, you could, at the moment, and it's early, this is if we were giving first quarter awards, we already know Diggs has been Defensive Player of the Month. We know that Micah Parsons has been an absolute beast. I don't know of anybody who's playing better than him personally. I mean, you know, there's the Chargers cornerback that's playing pretty good, but I don't know that he's better than Micah Parsons. So I'm looking at that and say, okay. Then you got to look across on the other side. You got Dak Prescott, who's got to be comeback player of the year. I mean, Barkley is coming back, but Barkley finally got a touchdown. But I got to say that Dak Prescott coming back from what he went through and already 10 touchdown passes, tied for third with Tom Brady. Let me say that again. Tied with Tom Brady in touchdown passes with 10 through the first 4 games. 10. Let me say it again. 10 in the first 4 games. That's 2.5 a game. If you're keeping track, that's on pace for 42.5 TDs. But wait, there's more. Here's what's crazy. Everybody talked about Zeke Elliott. He's done. He's no longer a featured back. Cowboys overpaid him. He needs to go. Start Tony Pollard. Yeah. Zeke Elliott quietly, has been doing damage. Zeke right now is 4th in the NFL in yardage. Now, I don't know that he'll catch Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry has 510 yards carried at 4.5 yards a carry, being a beast. Then you got Nick Chubb, who's slightly ahead of him at 362. I think he can catch him. Joe Mixon, who's injured, at 353. And then you have Zeke down at 342. But here's the interesting thing about those numbers. Because Zeke is splitting time with Tony Pollard, it's reducing the amount of carries he has. Because here's the amazing thing about Zeke Elliott right now. If you take the top 10 running backs in the NFL right now, now you could say Lamar Jackson is a running back. I mean, he's in the top 10 in rushing yards at 279, but technically he's a quarterback. But if you take the top 10 running backs, would you believe that Zeke Elliott is averaging 5.34 yards a carry, the highest running back in the top 10? Let me say that again. Zeke Elliott is averaging 3/4 of a yard more per carry than Derrick Henry. And this is the formula for what you want to do with Zeke Elliott. You don't want him to have to go out there carry the ball 30 times a game. Because by the time the season comes to a conclusion, his body's going to be shot. But you get him 15, 18 carries a game, split time with Tony Pollard, neither of them are going to have that main wear and tear, and running the football is what you want to be able to do at the end of the season. It's almost insane that right now, the Cowboys are on pace to rush the football for over 2,800 yards. That the Cowboys literally have, at the moment, projections of Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard both going over 1,000 yards. That CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper will both be going over 1,000 yards. And that your quarterback will throw for over 40 touchdowns. You talk about offense? Bro, that's freaking insane. And as we give credit to all of these guys, the thing that we have to turn around and look at is also the return of the offensive line. Tyron Smith, who played 2 games last year, not even completed 2, is throwing guys like it's, 2010. He's literally just one-arming them. Zach Martin, one of the best guards in football. Yesterday, a better game by Tyler Baddish. Connor Williams, great job. And little old Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele is making you say, Lyle who? At the moment. I know that sounds crazy, but you expected us to be like Tyron Smith to Chaz Green. Lyle Collins to Terrence Steele. And now you start looking at the Cowboys front office because they got a guy, Terrence Steele, as an undrafted rookie. And now he's starting and playing lights out. They went out and they got guys like Keanu O'Neal and Deontay Kazee, the Joseph Hookers, guys that were $1 million. And they put this ragtag group, this black sheeps together, mixed in a second-round cornerback and a young stud linebacker / defensive end last junior, Lawrence Taylor. And all of a sudden, you got a defense that's, and people say, oh, well, you're only like 16 at scoring defense, number 2, and taking the football away. But you look at some of the teams you play, Tampa Bay, that's a great offense. Chargers, that's a great offense. Eagles, not so much. Carolina, middle of the road. But you faced good teams. Think about this now, guys. Think about this for a second. Tampa Bay, 3-1. That's a team with a winning record. Chargers, 3-1. Did they play yesterday? 3-1. That's a good team. Panthers, 3-1. That's a good team. Eagles, well, they're ass. So from the standpoint of this team can't beat anybody, and as much as Rashid wants to say that Dak Prescott's not a winner, Carolina was 3-0 going to that game. Cowboys got them. I want to go through here and Damian Woody and want to listen to Zeke Elliott talking about wanting to just basically step on the throat of teams.
In control. One thing I wanted to mention is that they have forced 2 turnovers every single game this season, and that could be due to the addition of new defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. A little underrated. Everybody's going to be talking about the offense today, led by Dak Prescott and this guy, Ezekiel Elliott, who stopped by with our Edward.
What's this offense capable of? You talked about being the #1 offense in football this year. You think you're headed in that direction?
I think we definitely are. I think this offense is capable of anything. We're so versatile. We have so many playmakers. We're so deep at every position. So it's like you got to pick your poison.
Do you feel like you guys are playing the best football you've played since 2016 when you and Dak were rookies?
I think we're playing good football right now. I think we're winning football games, but I want to see us go out there and finish. I want to see us go out there and really blow somebody out. I think in the past couple of weeks we were in a situation where, it could have either, we could kind of let off the gas pedal and still win comfortably, or we can just go ahead and choke them out. So, I want to see us go out there and choke guys out.
We're 3-1. I told you guys that earlier in the week in the media. We've got a long way to go. This is a long season, and our expectations and standards are to be the best. And whether we're 3-1 or whatever the record is, it's about the next game. So we're going to enjoy this one. We're going to enjoy today, but we're going to get in tomorrow early and get our workouts in and prepare for next week.
That they will. It'll be interesting to see what happens next week, by the way. The Cowboys
The Giants.
The Giants to town, who just picked up their first win of the season in overtime against the Saints. $140 on the ground, 4 through the air. To ever do it wearing a star on your helmet. Wow. Tony Dorsett and Roger Staubach. Wow. In company with those two, you're doing things.
Add that one to the list.
All right, so I guess the biggest thing here, Damian, is that, Tim was talking about MVP candidates, and while Kyler Murray could be in the mix, I firmly think after another great performance, Dak Prescott has to be in the mix.
Absolutely. Dak Prescott is playing some of his best ball of his career. And when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, particularly on the offense, before the season, I and along with a lot of other people talked about the Dallas Cowboys offensive line coming back and those guys coming back healthy. Where now you're seeing what difference they actually make for the Dallas Cowboys. the level of physicality. We saw it last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, and we saw it even more so today against the top-ranked Carolina Panthers defense. They are literally bludgeoning people up front. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys, that is just great because not only you setting the tempo, you're helping your defense out. We even saw Dak Prescott using his legs more so than I ever thought. He was actually making plays with his legs. So if they can continue to get this type of production out of their running game, good luck stopping the Dallas Cowboys.
It's a great point because the Cowboys' offensive line used to be their strength. Then it got mangled, and now it's become a strength. Again, Tim, I just want to talk to you about, from a quarterback's perspective, you know, you're looking out, you're standing in front of the line, guys like Damian are sitting there protecting you, and you're thinking, man, I don't want to put it in this kid Diggs' direction. Just from a quarterback, what you have seen, he's a ball hawk is the word Damian used. Why has he been so effective so quickly for the Cowboys?
Well, I think the interesting thing, and Damian mentioned this as well, he said ball hawk, but he also said confident. And, you know, look, sometimes the ball will just find you. That will happen for some players. But when you look at his second interception of the day, that's confidence. That's understanding the play call by the defense. They're coming after Carolina in that situation. He's expecting the ball to come out early, and he just trusts that it's going to happen, has the confidence that he can jump a route. I mean, that typically will happen with guys when they start to feel like the game is slowing down for them a little bit, and they can play confidently. So when I look at Dallas on the defensive side of the ball, and look, everything Damian said about the offense is spot on. But defensively is where this team is drastically different than they were a year ago. I mean, they were historically bad as an organization defensively. I mean, one and done with Mike McCarthy's first hire as defense coordinator in Dallas. And it already looks much, much better on that side of the ball.
Amen on that.
There's no doubt about it. Quinn has made a gigantic difference. Speaking of playing with a ton of confidence.
All right. Oh, that was the other one I didn't talk about. So if you think about this, we talk about Diggs got to be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, that Micah could be a contender for Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. Dak Prescott should be a lock for Comeback Player of the Year. And you have to put him into the conversation of MVP. He's got great numbers, had great numbers. Problem is, the team wasn't winning. Now the team's winning. We'll keep following. Still way early, but at the quarter point, you could take 4 of the big awards. So that being said, we're going to have fun today. We're going to have some fun today. Yeah. And Pizzle, I'm looking for you, bro. You got something that belongs to my son.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?